Warning: the following stream contains flashing effects which may trigger discomfort or seizures for those with photosensitive epilepsy. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to RPG Capper, the channel where we cap RPGs of various design. Come to you live from the Soul Dimension where the bottle caps live and the CO2 bubbles never stop rising. Today, we are going to be resuming Dragon Warrior for the Nintendo Entertainment System. The cap, level 30. Our current level, 22. Let's get right back into the adventure. There we go. Alright. Let's get rid of this older file. $3,995 points, roughly 4,000 points. Alright, let's do a quick stats check. 97 strength, 90 agility, 144 maximum HP, 133 maximum MP, attack power 137, defense power 95, equipped with Erdrick's sword, equipped with Erdrick's armor, equipped with silver shield. Okay, so our hero has now become a major powerhouse. So now, in this particular case, let's do a quick urban magic. Okay, so we've equipped these. Now, before we get right back out into the world, I want to do a bit of a demonstration. Let's see what happens when we put on the cursed belt. RPG Capper put on the cursed belt and was cursed. Body's being squeezed. So, if you're officially cursed and the cursed belt is squeezing thy body. So when you're cursed, there's going to be some restrictions imposed upon you. Now, right now we are in the castle. But are they going to say anything different now that I have the cursed belt on? I mean, the king still looks at you favorably. Okay, the princess still looks at you favorably, so this looks good so far. Cursed one, be gone. So this is pretty much what happens. You are pretty much, let's see, it doesn't affect your stats or your money. But when you're cursed, the guards will not let you pass the gates. And now it's up to you to, it's pretty much up to you to remove the curse. So remember what we said a few streams ago when we said that there's an individual in town that can remove the curse. So we're gonna be giving that a bit of, we're gonna show you how to remove that curse here. Alright, so here we go. Here's the guy that removes your curse. We're gonna talk to him. I'll free thee from thy curse. Now go. And the belt's gone as well. He was able to take off the belt and lift your curse. But at least this is a good demonstration of what happens if the curse were to overtake you. So we can go back into the castle, and now the guards do not kick you out. Does it also affect your stats? It does not affect your stats either. So that's a good little tidbit to know, just in case that if you end up getting cursed and put on the belt foolishly. I mean, there is a means of getting that curse lifted. Just talk to the old geezer in Breckenridge and he'll lift it for you. So now for today, we are going to be focusing on bringing our levels up to 26. So, what we need to do first and foremost is get this chanted. And now I'm going to do a couple demonstrations here. First, for the first couple levels, let's just see what happens when we deal with nothing but metal slimes in the slime field southwest of the Kingdom of Alefgard. Then for the last two levels, we're going to see how fast we can level up just by being in the Dragon Lord's castle. And then we'll pretty much make a conclusion based on which area of the game gives you the better and faster payouts. So here we are in the southwest, and now we're gonna just see what the results will be just by being in the southwest here. So the next XP goal is to get our meter to 38,000. And if all goes well, maybe it will not take too long. Now, leveling up at this stage in the game shouldn't take you more than half an hour per level. But we're gonna see if we can try and get our levels up even faster than that. So here's the field of the metal slime. So we're, as said before, 1 in 5 chance that you'll be encountering a metal slime here in this field. All other times you may encounter a Wraith Knight, a Demon Knight, a Magic Wyvern, or a Standard Knight. But now that we have Erdrick's sword, it should be a little bit more easier for us to fight the metal slimes, but looks can always be deceiving. So let's see what happens. And even at level 22, the Demon Knights can dish out some damage. And I don't need to really waste magic on these guys anymore because they're pretty much cannon fodder at this point. Thanks to the trusty Erdrick's armor and sword. So while I'm doing this, I'm just going to pretty much explain how things were in the past couple days. So, in my last stream with The Legend of Zelda, I've mentioned that I was going to be seeing an employment agent at Opportunities for Employment here in Winnipeg. So what pretty much happened was, like, yesterday morning, got up pretty much at the crack of dawn. Washed up, had a quick breakfast, and got my things packed up to meet. Got a care package for my friend that my roommate graciously prepared for her. Also, and once I had everything loaded up in my backpack, because I also pretty much had other things packed in, such as pencils, erasers, a binder full of loose leaf, some ballpoint pens, a calculator, the whole 9 yards. Okay, here's a metal slime. Let me see if I can take him out this time. Ooh, 2 damage. That's significant. That is significant for against an enemy like this. Nice. Alright, metal slime down. 115 points collected. Nice. Now let's keep the momentum up. Because if we can keep this momentum up, we can be leveled up to 26 in no time. Okay, so getting back to my story here. Had all my writing materials and the care package for my friend assembled. I had it put in my backpack, and then headed out the door. So I pretty much had to wait for the bus out in minus 20 below Celsius. Finally, when the bus came, I pretty much wanted on the bus, headed downtown, stopped at the bus stop right across from the office. It's from the Opportunity for Employment office itself. Oh, 3 points of damage to these metal slimes. That's good. That is so good. Anyways, so I got off at the bus stop right across from the employment office. So then I just went up to the front to the doors, but it turns out the front doors were locked, and it turns out there was another entrance you had to go through just to get to the office, and so I had to just go a couple doors down to find the entrance. Came inside, had to read the billboard to see what floor the office was at, so it was occupying the 3rd and the 4th floor, so I had to go up. So the email that I received told me to go up to the 4th floor, so I went into the elevator, which pretty much just opened on its own, mind you, because I didn't hit any button or anything, so I guess, I don't know, perhaps it was an act of God that opened the elevator door for me, I don't know. Anyways, went into the elevator, hit the 4th floor button, got off, talked to the clerk across the desk that I was just here for a 9 a.m. appointment. So, she just gave me a, so she just pretty much just gave me a little note to indicate that I was going to be speaking to my caseworker, at around the appointed time, so, but I had to take my seat, so I took my seat along with several other people who were there to seek employment assistance. And, I also read a little pamphlet. Hang on. Oh, yes, 4 damage, full 115 points. Nice. Okay, anyways, getting back to the story here, now let's just keep up this momentum. More of these metal slimes I take out, the faster I can level up. Yes, this is what I want to see. Alright, so I pretty much was reading a few pamphlets relating to the objectives, the functions, and the missions of the Opportunity for Employment Center. Afterwards, I finally got to meet up with my caseworker, who was pretty much very generous, very understanding, and helped me walk through the whole process. So I pretty much sat down with him, and for the course of the next half hour, I was pretty much describing to him what they offer in their program, and would help me walk through it step by step. So, he pretty much pointed out that I've completed the registration process for the website. So then the next step was to take a 3-hour assessment of my personal skills. Now the 3-hour assessment would have to be completed between February 11th and February 27th, because the next appointment was set up for the 27th of February. But I will be having a different caseworker assigned to me. And as a result, let me just say it like this. So as a result, between this time, I have to fill out a 3-hour assessment that covers reading, writing, arithmetic, and some usage of digital applications. And as a result, it was. As a result, the whole thing. He walked me through the whole process in about half an hour, but the actual assessment itself remains. So I will, at some point, within probably by this weekend, or maybe not, because I'm going to be visiting my dad again this weekend, spending time with him for the next 3 days. Afterwards, when I come back to my roommates next week, then I'll be filling out that assessment and just getting that out of the way. They also asked for my resume, so I submitted my resume not only to him, but also to my next caseworker, so at least they'll have something to go off of when I meet with them next time. Afterwards, so the whole process took half an hour, so they basically then gave me my ID badge, so that next time I go to OFE, I just need to present them my badge and I'm free to use their facilities. After that, it was simply a matter then of going down to the 3rd floor and making use of the computer facilities there to see what type of job opportunities are available. So I had to go down to that, so I took the elevator down to the 3rd floor. I also informed the clerks that I was a new client, and they said you can make use of any of the computer facilities over there as you see fit. And I just went there, used that time to submit my resume to both my caseworkers, and now I could have pretty much have done the 3-hour assessment then, but but I was not sure what time my friend was going to be appearing at the diner, so in order for me to give her care package. So I decided to take the next couple, and since I was already done at 9:30, and it would take me like 3 hours to do the full assessment, I wasn't sure if I was going to be done in time to meet with my friends. But that's fine. I mean, I have until the 27th to complete the assessment, so I took the time just again to upload my resume to both my caseworkers and just read the news of the day until it was time for me to leave. So I left around 11:30. After 11:30, decided I just went down to the bus stop near the old department store and headed down to the diner. But apparently I was a little bit early, so I had to wait at least 10 more minutes for the diner to open. Head inside, warmed up my feet because it was freaking cold out, and I had to wait outside in the freezing cold for 10 minutes. But on the plus side, my roommate made some hamburger chop suey for my friend as part of the care package, so I didn't have to worry about the chop suey just being exposed too much to room temperature, because being outside in the cold would pretty much helped refrigerate it. Any case, finally the diner opened. Nico's diner opened. Came inside, waited for my friend to show up. Her other friend also showed up in the meantime, and she was a good artist. And we were like talking art-related stuff, especially with our little sketches, which she's pretty much wants to transfer onto sticker paper and make stickers of. Then when finally my friend arrived, we exchanged greetings, gave her care package, and we just sat down to eat. And after that, we all pretty much ordered our meals. So when I ordered, it's a Greek diner, mind you. So I asked my friend, who was a frequent visitor of the diner, what she would recommend for me to order. So she recommended to me the oven-roasted chicken. The oven-roasted Greek chicken. And so I decided to order it. I mean, it was a little bit pricey at $22, but my friend was adamant that this was the best meal that I'm ever going to have if I actually ordered this. So I held her to that, since she was a more frequent patron of the diner than I am. Sat down. So again, we had sat down. When the waitress came around, I ordered the chicken. The waitress told me it would take 45 minutes for that chicken to bake in the oven. So that was fine. I mean, there was a lot to talk about during that 45 minutes. Okay, anywho, where was I? Okay. So during that time, I handed her a care package, which was not only just a hamburger chop suey, but there was also like a special little art box, a can of Orange Crush Zero Sugar, some hot chocolate bombs with CBD, and I think there was some other art pieces, like some cards and stickers. I'm not sure. Everything was wrapped tight, so I couldn't check, because that was for her to do. And she couldn't unwrap everything inside the restaurant, because she wanted to do it at her house over a Zoom meeting with my roommate who prepared the care package for her. But that was fine. I mean, we had other stuff to talk to. She showed me some stuff related to Billy. She was talking about like Billy Bust Up and the song "A Million Gruesome Ways to Die," which is a surprisingly catchy song if you've ever heard of Billy Bust Up. But I was also following Billy Bust Up as well on his official YouTube channel, and also during that time I showed her like another song related to Billy Bust Up called "Beware the Pirate Queen," which plays off like a classic sea shanty. And the songs in that game are really catchy. I'd like to be able to play it one of these days, maybe even on stream, even though it's not an RPG, but there may be times when I might want to make an exception to the rule, just so I can play the video game that I really want to play. Now, this channel is RPG Capper, but we don't always have to play RPGs here. One of these days I can always make an exception to the rule just for the hell of it. And, I mean, if it helps get me a few more followers and subscribers over it, then good. But just make no mistake about it. This channel is about RPGs first and foremost, and more importantly, capping RPGs. That is the main theme of RPG Capper. But, again, there's exceptions to every rule, and I can always make an exception if there's a game I absolutely, positively need to play. Billy Bust Up is one of those games, and I wouldn't be surprised if I decide I want to stream my playthrough of Billy Bust Up. So, keep that in mind, everyone. Anywho, we are now... Let's just take a look at our current stats, 36,124. So we're doing quite well for ourselves here, but we have to get to 38,000 points in order to level up to 23. And today's leveling goal is 26. So, as long as we get the enemies we want to face, it shouldn't take too long for us to meet our grinding goals for today. Because remember, the cap is 30. And I fully intend to have this game capped by the next Dragon Warrior stream I do, which will most likely be next week, since I am visiting my dad this weekend, so I won't be able to throw in any more extra Dragon Warrior streams. Also, a more proper schedule has been put up on my Discord, so the schedule is... The schedule pretty much calls for one playthrough of Dragon Warrior this week, and 2 playthroughs of Zelda. I've already had 1 playthrough of Zelda, but now, and I've already completed the first quest, so tomorrow I'm going to be doing another stream tomorrow, and that stream will involve starting the second quest in The Legend of Zelda, which is harder than the first quest, but it's just distinct enough that it warrants a full playthrough. So, anywho, let's continue. Alright, so I'm getting back to our original story here. Yeah. So, I had met up with, like I said, met up with my friend, as well as her art friend, at Nico's Diner. I pretty much ordered the tea and also the oven-roasted Greek chicken. Now, the dinner itself had a starter. I mean, I could have ordered the fries, salad, or soup. Now, it was a really cold day. And what better way to offset a cold day than with a nice hot bowl of soup? So, I ordered the soup. The soup itself is a Greek avgolamono soup. Now, for those of you not to know, avgolamono is a chicken, rice, and lemon soup. So the soup broth itself is it's a thick lemon broth, but which also contains pieces of chicken and rice. And for a soup that's lemon themed, it's really good. If you haven't had a chance to try it, go to your nearest Greek restaurant, see if they serve avgolamono soup, and have a bowl or a cup. It's genuinely delicious. So after I was done my soup, I pretty much talked with my friend about also other things, such as relating to a KeyCon, which is our science fiction and literary convention here in Winnipeg. It's not until the May long weekend. May long weekend being the Victoria Day long weekend. And during this time, we do a lot of prep work for it. But I don't start doing official prep work for the convention until early to mid-March. So I have another month to go before I get started on that. Also, we also briefly talked politics, which I do not want to get into because of how divisive it is, and I like to keep major political affairs to a minimum on this page if possible. So finally, after a good 45 to 50 minutes, my order arrived. It was the oven-roasted Greek chicken, which came with rice pilaf, lemon potatoes, and pita bread with tzatziki dip. And let me tell you, such a wonderful hearty dish. Wonderful hearty dish. I mean, the chicken itself was nicely seasoned with all the Greek seasonings from head to toe. The pita bread was excellent with the tzatziki dip, and lemon potatoes done just right. And the rice pilaf was perfect. I mean, you couldn't ask for more, because Nico's Diner here in Winnipeg is run by a Greek family, and the family always puts in 110% effort when it comes to preparing their dishes. If you're ever in Winnipeg, come on down to Corydon Avenue and stop at Nico's Greek Diner. You won't regret it. You will have some of the best Greek food you'll ever have. I mean, even though the diner itself, even though the atmosphere of the diner itself is kind of bare bones, and with not a lot of atmosphere, the food itself more than makes up for it. And of course, I've had my meal along the side with a nice piping hot glass of red rose tea. I mean, it just felt like a perfect meal to have on a cold winter's day. And you know what? And even though it was a $22 meal, not gonna lie. But you know what? I felt I got my money's worth. It really did feel like it was worth every last cent. So there you go. And, my friends, they didn't order the oven roasted chicken, but instead they opted to go with the Fat Boy burgers. And the Fat Boy burgers are pretty much a special hamburger that's loaded up with lettuce, onions, tomatoes, and chili sauce. Now, the Fat Boy burger is not just mutually exclusive to Nico's. I mean, the recipe itself is widely available, and it's pretty much used at a lot of other boxcar eateries around the city. I mean, there's Junior's Restaurant on Portage. There's VJ's Drive-In on Main Street that makes use of it. The old Kaleki's Diner made use of it. I believe Daily Burger as well on Corydon Avenue uses it. I'm not sure. I mean, but any case, that's what you get. And so, my friend ordered that along with a side of fries, and my other art friend just ordered like a standard cheeseburger. So, but everyone enjoyed their meal. And yeah, that's pretty much how the day went. And I was pretty much just staying. We stayed in that diner until like, well, roughly around 2:30 p.m. So we had plenty to talk about. And my friend, who received the care package, now she had been battling depression a lot, but she at least staves off that depression by writing fan fictions and reading her fan fiction to myself and my roommates like every night, so at least she has a sense of contentment for her efforts. And she was also quite happy to see us when we met in person. She was happy to see me when we met in person just the other day. So I also relayed to her the entire story about my time at Opportunities for Employment. So now, what needs to be done? Okay, so after I was done at the diner, I had to check my transit fare card, but it was low on funds. So what had to be done then was I ended up having to call a cab, because apparently the buses down on Corydon Avenue they tend to come around once like every half an hour now, because unfortunately our city, in all of its infinite wisdom, decided to cut back service to the transit corner. And And unfortunately, the people of this city are feeling it. Those who do use transit, they're feeling it. But nothing you can really do in this case except complain to your reps, and hopefully they're going to give enough of a rat's ass to do something about it. But it may have to involve mass new hires, but unfortunately could also involve more transit fares increasing in the future, which I'm not particularly happy about. But unfortunately, it's turning into a necessary evil just to attract new hires to the service. Also, so since I couldn't really make the time to board the bus because of my low transit fare, I had to opt for calling a cab. So, took a cab, even though I had to wait, like, over half an hour for the cab to show up. And it was, like I said, it was freezing cold out, like minus 20 below Celsius. So I had to pretty much just stay within the entrance of Nico's diner until the cab arrived. And I pretty much did not really want it to stay there because it gives off the impression I was loitering. However, since both the mother and the son already recognized me just from ordering their meal earlier, they did not kick me out. Because after all, I spent like a good... Oh, and there's something I forgot to add. My friend and I also ordered the tiramisu cake for dessert. We had a bit of a sweet tooth going, so we ordered the tiramisu. And that tiramisu was delicious. It's not like... The tiramisu, depending upon people's personal tastes, they would either like to have it bitter with a slight hint of sweetness, or they could have it sweet with some slight bitterness. Some people have their own preferences to tiramisu. I don't care either way. It can either be bitter with a bit of sweetness or sweet with a bit of bitterness. The tiramisu that was served to us was sweet with a bit of bitterness. And you know what? It was still good. It was still good. And then after we were done there, well, all I could say in this particular case is, like, my friend took her leave, went back to her apartment in order to do the unwrapping of her care package to my roommate, just to assure her that everything was worthwhile for her. And of course, I took the cab back then I had to take a cab back to my roommate's house, or I ran back to my house now, since I'm living with my roommates. But here's the kicker. The cabbie, I had to really inform the cabbie that I needed to go down to that particular address, and I had to pretty much correct him on certain matters, otherwise he would have taken the wrong turn. So he tried to take the closest route possible, but unfortunately, there was some road work being done in the area, and even though it's minus 20 below, the workers were out in full force on that road, so the standard route was completely blocked off. And after that was done, so what happened was that the cabbie had to reverse course and had to take an alternate path. So when he finally got me to my destination, he did not charge me the full cab fare amount because of the fact that we were blocked by road work. So that was very generous of him. I appreciated it. After I paid him the fare, I still had to make a stop at the grocery store to pick up some essentials. So I had to pick up some toilet paper. I had to pick up some let's see. I had to pick up some toilet paper. I had to pick up some like a jar of pepper that my roommates need for some cooking for clients. And I also had to pick up some of their cigarettes and rolling papers, and that was about it. I couldn't go out to a cheaper store to get it because that would have involved me having to use bus fare, which I do not have. So I had to overspend on cigs and rolling papers for them. But I'm not too miffed about that. I mean, I understand that sometimes circumstances will be circumstances. So anyways, I got them their essentials and headed back home. Anyways, with that story done, I leveled up to 23. Power increased by 2, speed increased by 4, hit points increased by 6, magic points increased by 6. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to return. Rest up. We're gonna save our game. Okay, so it'll be another 4,000 points the next level. Okay, now let's go back to the slime field. So, judging by how everything lasted, it looked like it was roughly half an hour. It did look like it took roughly half an hour to level up in the slime field. But we're gonna do one more test, and then we're gonna switch over to the Dragon Lord's castle to see how we fare there. So I'm looking at the stream timer, and it shows 42 minutes. And 42 minutes and 15 seconds. So, if it does take us another half hour, it'll be like 1 hour and 15 minutes on the official stream timer. So, okay, so we have to get to 42,000 points to get to level 24. Now, Erdrick's sword is working beautifully here. Because remember what they said about Erdrick's sword. It's powerful enough to cleave steel. And if these metal slimes have an exterior that's strong as steel, then Erdrick's sword can hot knife through butter these slimes like it's nobody's business. And that's good, because the payouts are wonderful here. So if we can keep facing off against nothing but these slimes, we can level up a lot quicker. But then again, this is just merely a test of this area. For levels 25 to 26, from levels 24 and 25, we're gonna be working our efforts inside the Dragon Lord's castle to see if there is any real significant difference in time regarding a very significant difference in time between leveling up. Okay, so let's take a quick look. 38,310 experience. And we do have 65,535 gold pieces. So as you can see, the gold counter does not increment anymore. We only earn experience, not gold. So that means we have officially capped our purse. But I'm not the one who... But to me, the purse is not what's relevant to me. What's relevant to me is the experience meter. And the level meter. Because after all, we need to also reach 65,535 points for our XP meter in order to hit level 30. When E meter says 65,535 and levels reads 30, that is the cap. So once we accomplish that cap, we can declare the game capped and then go on and end the game. And he's running. But at least I can dish out more than one hit point of damage to these slimes, which is very fortuitous. See, 4 points of damage, 115 points XP. Beautiful. I can one-shot a knight, also beautiful. Alright, so we're going to also want to do a quick stats check. So strength is at 99, agility 94, HP is at 150, MP is at 139, but we already cast MP earlier. Attack power 139, defense power 97. So it looks like our attack power and defense power will not increase, but we can still increase our own strength and agility. Now I suspect that all the base stats in this game, including HP and MP, have an unsigned short cap of 255. But I don't know if the game will reach that limit, since each number is since each stat increase tends to be it may more or less may be randomized per level, but I strongly believe it's also the stat increase. Pardon me. The stat increase modifiers are also arbitrarily defined per level as well. But that's what I suspect. I may have to check the guide at some point to confirm. But you know what? At this point, I don't really care. All that really matters to me now is that I get to level. Is I do reach level 30 in the end, but it's not. But we're not going to be going to level 30 this stream. Level 30 will more or less be accomplished next stream, based upon our current progress. We don't need to collect any more extra items. All the items have been acquired last stream, so this is now just a matter of grinding ourselves to perfection. So as stated before, today's session will involve bringing our hero to level 26. But we're also testing 2 different regions to determine which region lets me level up the fastest, the Slime Field or the Dragon Lord's Castle. And apparently there's a bit of a commotion going on outside my door. I do have some friends, my roommate friends are pretty much are just cleaning things up around the kitchen, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be moved around. Okay. Sorry guys, had to clear my throat there. Alright. Okay, we do have somebody in here. Black Hand of Nod. Oops, hang on. Black Hand of Nod, welcome in. Welcome into this soda dimension where the CO2 bubbles never stop rising, and we cap RPGs for a living. How's it going? So far, so good. Sweet. Well, it's good to have you in here, my friend. I've legitimately been... So right now, what I'm doing is I'm building my guy up to level 26, but I'm checking out different spots in the game to see what provides the fastest means of leveling up. Do I do it in the Slime Metal Slime Field, or can I do it in Charlotte Castle? Also, while I'm going through this, I've just been explaining to any VOD viewers later on about how things have been for me for the past couple days. But I can still relay the whole story once more, because we're gonna be here for a little while. Anyways, I've had a chance, or maybe before I get started, how about you? How have things been with you for the past few days? If there's any interesting stories that you want to share today on my stream. Because I've actually had quite the adventure the other day while visiting an employment office downtown. But I guess I could pretty much just relay the whole story one more time because since now that you're here. I mean, just let me know when you're good and ready, and I can pretty much just I'll just tell the story. Because I just want to be able to see just how fast I can level up the hero here to 24. Okay, so he puts me to sleep, but I'm no longer worried about that because I'm in I have triple figure health right now, and I got Erdrick's armor. So I'm also healing up nicely as I run laps around the field. Well, in any case, I mean, I guess if you want, I could pretty much relate my story from yesterday, since it was quite a bit of an adventure, but it was also quite a good adventure for me. I mean, it pretty much had to involve going to an employment office while also meeting up with a friend for lunch at a Greek diner and giving her her care package. Okay, metal slime. Okay, so I guess maybe I'll tell this story again since you're here. So what happened yesterday was I had a big meeting with an employment counselor at an employment office downtown. So I had gotten up, did the usual shower, shave, got dressed, had breakfast, took some coffee, had a bowl of oatmeal, and also assembled all my essentials I needed to take to the employment office, which included pencils, papers, binders, even a couple flash drives in case I needed to give them a few files. Also, I had to assemble a care package that my roommate made for me for my friend, who actually needed the care package because she was undergoing some serious depression in her life. And the depression the care package usually included some stuff. Included a hand-painted knick-knack box, a can of Orange Crush Zero Sugar soda, some stickers, some art stickers, some and prints, and some cards, like some homemade hamburger chop suey, as well as some cookies and hot chocolate bombs that have CBD to help calm her and help ease her depression. So these were two care packages that were put together. That I was going to be delivering to her later on in the day after I was done with my duties at the employment office downtown. So, anyways, I've had all that assembled. My appointment was at 9 a.m. in the morning, so I had to get up pretty early, get everything assembled, put everything in the bag, head out the door, and go to the bus stop. And when I was at the bus stop, I pretty much just made sure everything was all properly in place, because I had a backpack with me, and I was also taking also had a separate grocery bag that I was carrying by hand since there was no more room in the backpack, to include my friend's care package. After that was done, okay, and then after that, I just finally took the bus downtown when it finally came around. Got off on the stop right across from the employment office. So when I got to the employment office, I just realized that there was just no direct door into the employment office, because it was like, for some reason the doors were just locked on the outside, so I had to go like a couple doors down to find the proper entrance, because since it was pretty much it was like an leased office building that actually have different offices on each floor, so I didn't go inside. I had to check to see which floor the opportunities for employment office was. Noticed it was on the 4th floor, so I actually went to the elevators, and one of the elevator doors just magically opens, and there was nobody in there, but apparently I was not going to question that an elevator that was just waiting for me right in the open with nobody in it, ready to be used at the moment's notice. So I went in, so I figured it might have been an act of God or something. So, depending, or just however you want to believe. So I took the elevator, hit the 4th floor button, went up to the 4th floor, and came to, and just entered the office, talked to the clerk right across the desk, talked to the secretary across the desk, that is, and she pretty much just confirmed me. She just confirmed my name and told me to have a seat. So I took like a couple pamphlets to read that was based upon the functions of the company itself, and so I was pretty much just sitting there and just reading pamphlets until a counselor was finally called my name, and just went over there, sat down with my counselor, and we ran through the whole process. And the process had to involve first him confirming with me whether I registered for the website itself. So I told him I already registered for the website about a week prior, and he did confirm that I had registered my website, confirm my email address, my home mailing address, my telephone number, the whole 9 yards. Okay, we've also surpassed 40,000 points. We're good here. So anyways, I talked with him. He was super nice guy. Super nice and helpful guy. Walked me through each process step by step. With aside from the registration process, he also just pretty much just ran through like the typical security checks, like child abuse registry check, any criminal history, are you a legal citizen in Canada, or something like that, and yes, I confirmed. So I pretty much just confirmed to him I have a clean criminal record, and I am a legal citizen of Canada. And so he finished there, and as also he provided with me like a few other like a little sheet of paper, like pretty much a code of conduct, a form that I had to sign to indicate that I would be on my best behavior every time I'm going to be using the facilities for employment-related purposes. And he then told me that now I'm officially registered. I now had to submit to him my resume and complete a 3-hour assessment based upon my personal skills, so they could determine what job is suited for my particular skill level. Now, for someone like myself, it could be a bit difficult because I am on the autism spectrum. I do have ADHD, I do have bipolar, anxiety and depression. I also have a tendency to fidget at times because this is something that's been with me since I was born, and went through a pretty rough lifestyle growing up with this kind of condition because people at the time just couldn't be bothered to understand people in my condition. But again, that's a whole separate issue. But at least they were more understanding and accommodating of that, and bless them for this. So, anyways, he had stated that everything that I followed all of his directions correctly, read through the entire code of conduct form, as well as other other forms that indicate who my other caseworkers will be. So I'm going to have another caseworker assigned to me on the 27th of February, so I'm going to be heading back to the office on the 27th of February, but in the meantime, he tells me that I need to complete that 3-hour assessment between now and February 27th. And the little assessment that he gave me was, it has to be done online, on their website, and it has to test different reading, writing, arithmetic, and digital app skills. And again, they said it will take a full 3 hours to complete. So once that's done, I submit my results. I'm also expected to submit my resume, but I've already did that because my entire meeting with the employment counselor only lasted half an hour. And again, super nice guy, went through the whole process with me. After that was done, he then told me that I could use the computer facility on the 3rd floor, just to check for any job opportunities, which I did. And so we had finished up. I also received my name tag as well as my badge number, so I could continue to use the employment facilities. I could use like the employment offices, different facilities, as well as their computers and printing and printers for anything else that it was necessary. So they basically gave me the perks as long as I showed my proper name and badge number that was on the badge that they gave to me. So I went down to the 3rd floor, showed the secretary across the desk my badge, and she said that I could use any of the computers that are there on the floor. So I did so. I also then brought out my flash drive, emailed both my employment counselor and also my caseworker to be my resume, so that at least they'll have something to go off on for the next couple weeks. Now, the only thing that's left for me to do now is to finish that 3-hour assessment, but unfortunately, it cannot be done this coming weekend because I am visiting my dad. He and I are pretty much going to have to get some various stuff done around the house as well as get some shopping done. So I'm going to be occupying. So I have to occupy his time for the next 3 days over the weekend, and just to make sure that things are going well. Because I also have his bills here in my house, which they were supposed to have been redirected to him, but they still went right back to me. And it looks like this is a problem that's going to linger until the end of April, because that was how long the redirection service has been established for. But you know what? I guess I'm just going to have to deal with it until the end of April. I mean, nothing else I can frickin' do about it. But in any case, sent my resume and spend the next couple hours at the facility just reading up on the daily news of the day before it was time for me to meet my friend at the Greek diner downtown. Yeah, and so that was done. So once I was done reading the news, I headed off. It was already 11:30 at that point, and I took the bus down to the Greek diner. It was called Nico's Diner, by the way, which is a very fantastic Greek diner here in Winnipeg. If you ever get the chance to visit Winnipeg, be sure to stop by there. They make great food, and sorry if there was a bit of an ad break there, but anyways, I was still talking about the Greek diner that I was going to be meeting my friend at. So I took the bus down there. I had to wait at least 10 more minutes for the diner open because they didn't open until noon. And it is a family-run establishment, and so they decided they were just going to open up at noon on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, but they don't do Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. So you would have to be fully aware of their schedule. Anywho, I went inside, got myself my table, and like I said, it couldn't have happened at a better time because my toes were starting to freeze by standing outside in minus 20 below Celsius. And after that, it was just sit down at a table, text my friend that I was at the restaurant and I'm ready to meet her. So she said she was going to be around at 1 p.m. And so I thought, okay, I might as well just sit around and warm up, order some tea until she's ready to show up. But she also invited another friend to show up with her, who was also an artist. So her artist friend showed up first, and she and I had a little bit of a good talk. We pretty much just talked various stuff. She also showed me some of her artwork that she did, like a lot of it is like fantasy stuff, which included like animals, dragons, unicorns, and the like. And she had showed me all this stuff, which was like, it was all on some cardstock, some sticker paper, and some just in her sketchbook, and they were pretty good. And I also suggested her a couple pieces. I mean, she could pretty much just draw like a rabbit, and also a Pegasus. And I just wanted to see how she would fare. And she was able to sketch up like a rabbit and a Pegasus in about a couple minutes, so she was pretty talented in that way. So as we were discussing this stuff, I mean, finally my friend came in. I said hello to her. Pretty much gave her the care package that I had saved earlier in that day. And so she got the care package. She was very pleased to receive it, but she didn't unwrap anything because she wanted to do it in her own apartment and do it over do it over a Zoom chat. So with my roommate friend, so that she can be, so that way she can confirm that she received her package, and she just wanted to see the look on my friend's face when she opened up her entire care package. So there's that. But anyways, we ordered our food. Now, my friend and her art friend, both ordered burgers. I mean, one of them ordered like a Fat Boy burger, which is like a burger that has which is loaded up with pickles, onions, lettuce, tomatoes, and chili sauce. And her art friend just ordered a standard cheeseburger, which both came with a side of fries. As for myself, since my friend likes to frequent Nico's Diner a lot, I asked her what she would suggest would be the quintessential item to order off the menu. And she said you want to get the oven roasted chicken. Now, the oven roasted chicken's a bit pricey at $22, but you get all the fixins with it, which included lemon potatoes, pita bread with tzatziki dip, and rice pilaf. And it also has a starter, so the starter could also be like a salad, fries, or some soup. Since it was a very cold day, I decided to opt for the soup. So the soup that was served was a traditional Greek avgolamono soup. Now, not if you don't know what avgolamono is, it's a Greek soup which is a thick lemon broth, and also contains chicken and rice. So like it's a lemon chicken and rice soup, but the Greeks call it avgolamono. And honestly, I didn't think like lemons would work good as a broth, but I was wrong. It was actually really good. It was delicious. And so we had that, and I also ordered like a big tall cup of red rose tea. And while we were having that, we were discussing some other stuff related to today, such as political affairs, which I will not get into because I don't really like discussing politics on my channel unless it's absolutely necessary. And but we also discussed other stuff, such as the new Billy Bust Up video game that's also set to come out sometime, hopefully this year or the next, because it's been in development for quite a while now, but the music in that game is amazing, because the game is a musical, and the music that's being sung by the artists did a fantastic job. I mean, I don't know if you heard of this one song on the Billy Bust Up game, but one of its most famous songs is called "A Million Gruesome Ways to Die." Yeah, that's the title of the song, "A Million Gruesome Ways to Die." And the song itself is a real banger. I mean, this is a kind of song you want to put on a Halloween playlist next to other famous Halloween songs like Monster Mash and Ghostbusters and Thriller. So it's a good song. And one other thing I wanted to, and I asked my friend if she's heard all the songs that have been released thus far. She said she only heard about the other songs, such as called "I've Had Enough of You," which is also another big song, but I asked her if there is a third song that got released called "Beware the Pirate Queen." And she says, "Oh, I haven't heard that one." So I actually pulled up the YouTube link that plays the song. And so the song is played out like a traditional sea shanty. And it's also really catchy. I mean, every song that was put out so far by the Billy Bust Up team has been an absolute catchy banger. And once the game finally does get released, I will admit I will make an exception to my channel to play it. I want to play Billy Bust Up. I'm just obsessed with that game now. I really want to play it. But until we get an official release date, I'm kind of SOL on that. So all I can do is follow the development news on their blog or on their YouTube page and see what comes out of it. And there you go. Oh yeah, so while we were discussing this, the waitress who took my order told me that the oven-roasted chicken that I ordered would be 45 minutes. It does take 3/4 of an hour to prepare that chicken. And on that note, I've leveled up to 24. So power increased by 4, speed increased by 4, hit points increased by 5, magic points increased by 7. Okay, with that being so let's take a look at our current time. So it was roughly around the 45-minute mark that I had leveled up to 23. So at level 24, it's now at the 1 hour 10-minute mark. So it is roughly half an hour to... Let's see, so 10, 20, 10, 20... Let's see, yeah, 10, 20, 30. Yeah, so it was pretty much half... It does take half an hour to level up each additional level in this game. At this stage in the game, that is, because it takes 4,000 points to level up. But that's fine. So we do have a rough estimate of 1 level per half hour at the later stages of the game. That when the cost to level up is 4,000 experience points. Is the acquisition of 4,000 experience points. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the king, save our progress, and then head to this time head to the Dragon Lord's castle to see how we fare any better there. So the next goal is 46,000. Okay, so our progress is recorded. Back out into the world we go. Okay, so anyways, let's get back to my story here. Like I said, let me just take another quick look over here. Good, yeah. Sorry. Sometimes you're going to hear a little bit of distortion in the audio because when I switch between windows, it causes the audio in the emulator to distort, and I have no idea how to fix that. Okay, so I don't need to deal with the minor riffraff here, so what we're going to do is we're going to move on. So this time we're going to Charlock to raise the next 2 levels. So anyways, Black Hand or not, if you're still here, I just want to get back to my little story. So anyways, I had met with my friend and her art friend, delivered my friend her care package that my roommate made for her. We all ordered our meals. They had the burgers, I had the oven-roasted chicken. And like I said, it took 45 minutes for that chicken to be made. Okay, I also want to do a bit of a quick stats check now that we're level 24. Our strength has now gone into the triple figures, so now we have 103 strength, 98 agility, 155 HP, 146 MP, attack power 143, defense power 99. Okay, so it does look like we are slowly building our attack and defense power as well. But I would like to have all my stats into the triple figures if possible, which I'm hoping that'll happen next level. So anyways, after 45 minutes, I finally got my roast chicken, and it was wonderfully prepared. Wonderfully. I mean, it was thoroughly cooked and just garnished with classic Greek seasonings. And the actual dish was also supplemented with pita bread, with a cup of tzatziki sauce, lemon potatoes, and rice pilaf. And honestly, it was probably one of the best meals I've ever had. And you know what? Honestly, for a meal that cost $22, I honestly thought it was pretty good. It was I didn't feel like I didn't feel ripped off at all. I felt like I generally got my money's worth off that meal. And I just made sure I went through each and every last part of that meal. I didn't want to waste a single grain of rice. I didn't want to leave any meat hanging on the bones, because it was bone-in chicken, mind you. But that's okay, because the seasonings, along with the bones, helped give that chicken that bit of extra flavor to it. And of course, the tzatziki sauce was perfectly prepared, nice and tangy. And you know what? It was just a wonderful meal all around for all of us. Everyone loved their meals. I mean, the Nico's did a fantastic job, and you know what? For a family-run diner, they really did a phenomenal job with what they've had. Anyways, so let me see what else I can do right here. Okay, so we're now at level 24. We've surpassed 42,000 experience points. Our gold purse is capped at 65,535. So now we are going into Charlock and see and we're gonna see if being in Charlock Castle will help us level up any more faster than we were in Metal Slime Field. So last I checked, the stream timer was at 1 hour and 10 minutes when we reached level 24. So let's see how long it's gonna take for us to get to level 25. So I'm also keeping an eye on the stream timer, the stream recording timer, while I'm also playing this. Anywho, let's just get back to the story. So, food was excellent all around, but I still wanted a bit more. And since I was there, I was kind of craving something sweet, so I ordered their dessert, which is an Italian tiramisu cake. And now tiramisu could be prepared in like one of two ways. There is, you could have it sweet with a hint of bitterness, or you can have it bitter with a hint of sweetness. Now, I've been in Italian restaurants before where tiramisu was served to me bitter with a hint of sweetness. But the one that they served here in the Greek diner was sweet with a hint of bitterness. And you know what? It was still good. I enjoyed it. It was nice and creamy. The ladyfingers and the ladyfinger biscuits were nicely prepared. The nice coffee, the cocoa was good. The coffee flavoring was good too. And of course, it was. I mean, my only slight complaint was that the serving that was given to me was smaller than the one I've had at a Pasquale's Italian restaurant. But you know what? I'm not. It's a minor nitpick, and it's not something that I would consider a major deal breaker over when it comes to a Greek diner like Nico's, because the dish itself was wonderful. It was still a good dish, and you know what? I still felt it was worth the money. And so yeah, so it was the oven roasted chicken, the avgo limona soup, cut my tea, and tiramisu for dessert. So the entire bill came to roughly $34, which is not too bad, all things considered. I mean, yeah, I got a lot of food out of that, and it was pretty much and the oven roasted chicken was their priciest dish. And you know what? And the 45-minute prep time for the oven roasted chicken, I definitely felt it. I kind of felt like it felt fair considering for the price that I paid. So, anywho, after the bill was paid off, I pretty much decided to head on home, but considering that the bus service was slow in the afternoon, and I didn't have enough money on my fare, I had to take a cab. I had no other choice but to go take a cab. And when I took the cab home, the cabbie made a wrong turn. Well, he didn't make a wrong turn down a road to get me to the street I needed to get off on. The problem is there was a lot of road work that was being done on that particular street, and the entire area was blocked off by digging machines. And I would have to commend those workers for being outside in this kind of weather to do their work, because minus 20 below Celsius in Winnipeg is no joke. You have to be well prepped. You make sure you have a lot of coffee, make sure you've eaten a lot of fat, and make sure you're bundled in triple layers. Because our winters here do get harsh, and sadly, there's always at least one person here in the city that never makes it. There's always at least one person in the city that doesn't make it. They always succumb succumbed to the elements. It's a sad fact of life here, but that's just the way it is. And until there's better support given to the lower class, the homeless, and the mentally ill here, unfortunately, this problem is only going to persist. And I don't know what our elected officials are doing in City Hall to help alleviate this problem, but we're just basically being put. The constituency is trapped in limbo, wondering what the hell's even going on with these types of supports. But you know what? We're getting into political territory, so I don't want to delve too deep into this. Okay, the Red Dragon's kicking my ass, so I'm going to be casting Heal more. So, anywho, getting back to my original story, the cabbie had to take a detour down another street just to finally get to my stop. And he got to my stop. And I paid him his fare, but since we were also stopped by road work, he did not charge me the full cab fare. He at least took $20 off the cab fare as a courtesy because of the inconvenience that was caused due to the road work that was happening on the street. And you know what? I thanked him graciously for this. I mean, and I did leave him a few extra dollars as a tip, just as a courtesy. And then as a result, oh yeah, and then after that I just went to a store just to get my friends some essentials, which include some TP and smokes. As well as some black pepper, and that was practically my day. I mean, what I had for dinner that night was pretty much just a plate of nachos, and the nachos were pretty good too. Anywho, so that was pretty much my day yesterday. Like, any day can be an adventure if you're willing to go out and experience it. But today, I'm pretty much just going to be focusing on my stream. Then I need to start packing my bags for tomorrow, since I'm going to be meeting my dad over the weekend. And then we're probably going to do some other stuff. I mean, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing around the house, but yeah. I think this is where I left off in terms of searching around the Dragonlord's floor. Because I still have to finish exploring this entire floor, though, because I wasn't able to do it last time. Okay, I really hate the fact that the spells are not working, because I do need to have these spells working. Yeah, one more hit will finish me off, so I have to go to heal more. Blackhand of Nod, are you still here by any chance? Sorry for asking, but because you've been pretty quiet, unless you left. And if you left, you know what? I'm not gonna hold it against you. I don't hold it against anybody that chooses to abruptly drop out. I mean, I don't take offense. If you need to leave, you need to leave. Sometimes people have other affairs to deal with in their lives too. You don't always have to sit here and keep me company if you don't feel like it. So anyways, getting back into this, we're just going to continue looking around the floor and see how much we can actually explore. But before we have to beat feet on a mount on account of the fact that our MP is going to get too low. Okay, stop spell has a low battery. I complained about this in the last stream, but it looks like it still wants to give me this crap. And you know what? This is costing me serious MP to keep using every single time. And I'm losing a lot of... I'm losing HP over this. Okay, have to heal more again. Alright. Yeah, and the red dragons are still being assholes, even at level 24. Sorry for the distortion, I had to check something quickly. Looks like I'm actually holding my ground against the red dragons now, which is a good sign, because if I can hold my ground against the red dragons, I can definitely hold my ground against the Dragon Lord. But they're still dishing out some pretty powerful damage to me, but I still have a little bit more... I still have a little bit more MP to use here. Okay, let's take one quick look over here. Okay, guys, I will need to make a quick bathroom break, so I'll be right back. Okay, back. Alright, let's get right back into the action here. How much do we have? Alright, let me... I guess I have enough I have enough MP just for one more encounter. "25 points of damage is significant." So even with all these... Even at level 24, the Armored Knights and the Red Dragons can do a number on me. Nothing over here. I really hate it when that happens. Still, the spell will not work. Okay, I'm only going to give it one more use. It will not work. Let's see if I can at least two-shot this guy. Okay, I at least defeated the knight. Okay, but I am getting but I'm too dangerously low on MP, so we have to do this. Okay, so we no longer have enough MP to cast any of our spells. We don't have a spell that only costs 1 MP to use, so we don't have a choice but to get back into town and rest up. But I'm also starting to see that just exploring the Dragon Lord's fortress is very cumbersome compared to that of the Slime Field. So it's very much possible that we might just end up having to make use of the Slime Field next session in order to get ourselves to level 30. But again, we're not going to be focusing on getting ourselves to level 30 this session. It's just going to be level 26. But I just wanted to do a proper test of both areas to see what area provides the better time frame in terms of leveling up. Triple figure hits. Nice. Okay, never had to use an herb, that's good. Move. 44,012. Okay, so we're past 44,000 points. Alright, back into the castle we go. Alright, back down into the Dragon Lord's chamber we go. Oh, it's getting cold in my room again. Alright, one shot at a star where there aren't even if it is a natural 20. So does payouts seem more or less on par with what I would get in the slime field minus the metal slimes? And the progression rate does also appear to be more or less on par. But, again, I'm gonna have to... Seriously? Fucker puts me to sleep just as I was assessing this situation. Okay. My hand should not be trembling. Alright, 400, let's keep going, let's keep going. But again, the Bard was so rudely interrupted by that dick move of the Axe Knight. Anyways, I will... It's kind of difficult to make a thorough assessment of the grind rate of Charlock Castle versus Slimefield, but it does appear mostly to be on par. However, I don't have any means of providing an absolute assessment for this situation just about yet, because there is a couple factors that have to be put into play here for this session. First of all, I had to make that bathroom break earlier, and I'm still scouting specific tiles on the Dragon Lord's floor. Not to mention, some of these enemies are pretty cumbersome to fight, even though I have a level of 24 by now. Alright, moving on. I have no idea why I did that. I am just... And I paid 23 points of damage for it. I needed sleep. Stonemen don't cast magic. Oh, this is wonderful. This is frickin' wonderful. But I'm also going to use Hurt more, because these guys have a lot of HP into them. Okay, going deeper into the chambers. Alright, 45,000 points. Okay, so this is where I left off. So we're getting some poison marsh tiles here. I guess I'll do a search. You can't traverse the water here. There's the Dragon Lord. You just want to have one successful cast. Just one. Oh, well, that's good. Okay, 2-shot of the Stoneman. That's nice. Okay, so let's head on out. Okay, his personal guards have come to his rescue. Alright. Put up 70 points. Let's check around this little bend here. One shot of the stone man, nice. Maybe I should just give up trying to use Stop Spell against these guys, because I think they're too resilient. Okay, nothing over here. Okay, so there's nothing on this side. Alright, that part's done. So now they're bringing in the big guns. Well, you know what, doesn't matter. Let the Dragon Lord sick his personal guard on me. I'll just knock them all down. So we finally come up to the Dragon Lord, but we're not talking with him right now. That'll be saved for next stream. The next Dragon Warrior stream, that is. Well, brought out his pet red dragon. Can't do it. Can't do it if you're blocked. Okay. With this being said, I think all areas of significance have been explored in the Dragon Lord's fortress, including his chamber. So all that's really left to do now is to level or grind ourselves. Just get ourselves up to 25 and then accordingly to 26. So let's now reverse course and get ourselves out of the Dragon Lord's castle. Alright, slashed up the Armored Knight. One-shotting them. Nice. I'm probably not going to bother using Hurt more anymore because I need to conserve MP until I get to level 25. It needs to work, or I'm gonna be in, or I'm in deep shit. Whoa, that was pretty funky. Alright, level achieved. 10 for power, 2 for speed, 3 for hit points. No magic point increase. Okay, so now we're at level 25. And we are going to do a return. Let's rest up in town. Let's save our progress with the king. Yep, another 4,000. Okay, so we're gonna do one more level and then call session for the day. Now, here's what needs to be done. I'm taking a look at our clock. I'm taking a look at the live recording stream. And it is at 1 hour 54 minutes and 30 seconds. So, even though it took a little bit longer to level up to 25 from 24, there were a lot of contingencies that were in place that pretty much prevented me from doing it in a very smooth and seamless manner. Namely, my need to continue searching the floor in the Dragon Lord's chamber and my emergency bathroom break. So it wouldn't be fair to compare my time in the slime fields with my time inside the Dragon Lord's castle. just based upon these unfortunate contingencies alone. So this time we're gonna have to give it a fresh look. We're gonna have to give the time frame a fresh look for levels 25 to 26 in order to determine whether there is any real significant difference in time between grinding in the slime fields and running a lap to the Dragon Lord's Chamber and back in Castle Charlock. But remember, our goal for today was to raise 4 levels, and we've raised 3 of the 4 levels. So now, we're just going to get right back into the action, and we're going to keep at this until we get the 50,000 points. Oh, another thing I do need to make note of is to check my current stats. So let's take a look. 113 strength, agility 100, 158 HP, 146 MP, 153 attack power, 100 defense power. So all my major stats have now hit the triple figures. So this makes me an official powerhouse against the enemies that I face in the game. So I was able to one-shot a Magic Wyvern. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. So we have to keep an eye on our XP meter, or our E meter, until it gets to 50,000. Once it gets to 50,000 points, we'll hit level 26 and call session for the day. Alright, moving on. So, if I'm gonna have to recall that it is 1 hour and 54, so it's gonna be, like 1 hour and 54 minutes from the previous level up. So I do need to pay close attention to that timer. Okay, I'm not gonna be too concerned about the gauntlet here. Because after all, more enemies I destroy, faster that XP meter builds. Hello to the viewers that came in. Just to let you know, there will be an ad starting in 20 seconds. But feel free to chat and say hi. We're just building ourselves up to level 26, and then we're going to be calling session as part of our progress towards RPG capping. Alright, moving on. Don't be shy, say hi. You're in the Soda Dimension, where the CO2 bubbles never stop rising, and where we cap RPGs and make drinks for a living. Once we get our meter here to 50,000, we're calling sessions. We're just also checking to see whether grinding in Dragon Lord's Castle is more preferable to grinding on the slime fields in the southwest part of the kingdom. Video Games 1980s. Good to see you again, my friend. How's it going as well? I'm doing good. So we're pretty much running on another little session here on Dragon Warrior, and then after that we're gonna be doing all sorts of other stuff. There's gonna be a little ad break. Video Games 1980. Sorry for the little inconvenience, but but it's just a trade-off about me getting affiliated, and I do need to get some of that revenue money out of it. I don't get ads. Oh, you don't get ads. You're all good. Oh, okay, that's cool. Anywho. So I don't know if you basically have heard the news, but my meeting with the employment office the other day went by pretty good, and so I pretty much had a good chat with my employment agent, who set me up for the employment process. He just got all my base information, and I just pretty much answered a few questions with him, such as, like, criminal background checks, legal citizenship, and all the whole 9 yards, and everything went by smooth as silk. So now, I'm now scheduled for another meeting on the 27th of February with a new caseworker. I sent them both my resumes. Once I go through criminal background questions, you're in. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I have a clean record I pretty much have never really gotten into trouble with the law before, because I pretty much was, my parents raised me better than that, but anyways, yeah, they've gotten everything went through pretty good. Everything went through pretty good. I now have a new caseworker who'll be working with me for the next few weeks. I already submitted my resume to both my current, to both the employment agent and my caseworker. So they're just gonna be reviewing it over the course of the next couple of weeks, and also in the meantime, they gave me an online assessment test that I need to fill out. And now that assessment test it's going to take me 3 hours to finish. 3 hours. But and that test is pretty much going to be your standard reading, writing, and arithmetic, as well as your digital app skills. So once I'm done with that, it's just a matter of submitting the results to the employment agency and then see what happens on my meeting on the 27th of February. Let's see. You got in trouble once 20 years ago, and yeah, I had to explain it. Oh, okay. What happened 20 years ago, if you don't mind me asking? Or is it too much of a personal matter? Because if it's too much of a personal matter, then I understand. I'm not gonna force it just to open up old wounds that you don't want to. And thanks for the congratulations. Oops, gotta fix this up. You trespassed on an abandoned property when you were 18. Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty minor compared to some other offenses out there. Okay, Dragon Lord, so now we're gonna move back a bit. You trespass on an abandoned... Okay, you know what, I wouldn't... Yeah, so you know what, if that happens, then I can understand why they give you a record, but that kind of a record is really not something that they should be holding against you for like 20 years after the fact, because after all, I mean, we were all young and stupid. We were all young and stupid, and we tend to do a lot of young and stupid things just for the thrill of it. Second-degree misdemeanor. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, when you were on an abandoned property, was it like some kind of an abandoned warehouse, or was it like some kind of a boarded-up house or something like that? Oh, I see. You wanted to get some picks in before it was gonna get raced to the ground, or dynamited, whatever they prefer. Yeah, I mean, I can understand the thrill of going in there, yeah, and you know, like, even though you'd have a tendency to ignore the keep out signs that they put out for you, but yeah, we definitely should have been there. Okay. Because in all honesty, I mean, as long as you're not committing... Well, okay, I get it. I mean, the entire property is supposed to be slated for demolition, and they didn't want anyone on the property that could probably cause any problems to that effect. But, in any case, well, you know what? You don't have to worry about video games I use. I mean, the closest, the closest, I never had a criminal record per se, but the closest I ever got to developing a criminal record was, being inside a Levi's jeans store inside of a mall, all the way back in November of 2001, and okay, so I was pretty much just looking around at the designer jeans, but one of the clerks at the time, just looked at me with the deer caught in the headlights look, and had security called on me because apparently I resembled an individual who came into the store a week prior, and he was and this guy was just ogling at all the girls that were in the store, and he thought I fit the description, so he had security called on me, and apparently the security guards then pretty much... Yeah, it was definitely a case of mistaken identity, a classic case of mistaken identity. But the security guards at the time didn't want to listen to my story. They sided with the clerk, because apparently, like, he was the guy he was the one that called up security, and so they were required to put his needs first before mine. So I wasn't allowed to state a defense. But instead, the security guards decided to go get all police. They all decided they wanted to become, like, the pseudo-police, and pretty much went on to explain to me that I was officially no longer allowed on the premises, that I had to leave the mall for 24 hours, and I was ordered to keep my hands down and to my side, or they could have me cuffed, even though they were just mall security guards. But this is a story I'm probably going to have to explain in more further detail in probably a future stream, because this particular stream that I'm doing right now is almost done, because as soon as I hit 50,000 points, that's pretty much it for today's stream, because I was only supposed to go to level 26 today. So we have a few more people that just came in. So hello to everyone else that has entered this soda mention. We are playing Dragon Warrior for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and we are striving to achieve the level cap of 30, which will not be achieved this stream, but it will be achieved next stream. For today, we've gone from level 22, and we're going all the way to level 26, and we are pretty much testing different grind zones. One being the slime field of the southwestern part of the kingdom, and the second being Charlock Castle itself. No, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, sometimes we do want to create a conversation of any sort just to help pass the time, because grinding on an RPGs can be tedious, and it can be pretty tedious and monotonous. But so that means, in order to offset that tediousness and the monotony of the grind, we tend to open up different topics of discussion. Such as the last time you were here, we pretty much discussed about videography and composition, which was pretty good to know. And also, there was also some, and I pretty much just relayed another story to my other friend earlier in here about my time at the employment office. So, being at the employment office was just one part of my adventure yesterday, and like I said, everything went good. They gave me a badge number and an ID number, so that next time I go into the office, I can at least make full use of their facilities without being side-eyed. And so they're gonna take me through the employment process step by step. Hopefully, they're gonna find, and they're, like I said, and they have to customize the process so they can find a job for me that works within my means, and also can work within my mental health condition. Also, that can also be accompanied to my mental health disorders, because anyone who's actually been in here before knows that I am on the autism spectrum. I do have a bad case of ADHD, as well as bipolar disorder, anxiety, depression. I do have a tendency to flap my arms. I do have to get tics. I do have a tendency to have, like, tic events happening to me. I mean, it's just the way I am. It's been like that since birth, and I'm legitimately... This is a condition I'm pretty much going to have for the rest of my life. So, the only thing I can really do in this case is find a job that works within my... that pretty much just works within my means, that can accommodate my conditions, and, start making a good income along with the side of this, alongside with doing my streams, and see what comes out of it. Because after all, my friends are also supporting me here. I mean, my roommates, that is, but they're also my friends. They're actually supporting me every step of the way, and they actually tend to do things like care packages, as well as do some special art boxes for everyone else. They do tend to run some tables at conventions as well, like selling some of their art. And let's see what else there is, and also some makeshift jewelry and all that. So yeah, and what I pretty much do around this house is I pretty much, aside from the fact that I just cover the grocery bills and the rent, I pretty much also do some little bit of maintenance work as well, such as pretty much just maybe like fix this with a sink, or I could also just let me see, what is it? Or I could just clean the floors, clean the fridge, shovel the walkway. Okay, so I still have enough MP, so I'm gonna do another little run here. Let's see, so it's already been 20 minutes since my last level up. I'm no longer arrested by the means of searching the grounds or having bathroom breaks. So I want to test the amount of time it takes to grind levels between between the slime fields and Charlock Castle, because these are the two grind areas of this game. These are the areas where you can level up smoothly. And I just want to do a proper comparison. Is it more convenient to level up in the slime fields, or is it more convenient to level up in Charlock Castle? So, at first glance, everyone's going to say you're better off going to the slime fields in the southwest corner of the kingdom, because the enemies are more easier to deal with, plus you have Erdrick's sword, so you can easily destroy the metal slimes. And you can also get 115 points of experience with every victory. I support you, man. Seem like a... Oh, thank you very much, Video Games on JD. I really appreciate that sentiment. So yeah, you know what? I I do my best to also support my friends and my others. I mean, I have to support my dad too, because I'm actually going to be visiting my dad like this weekend to help him with other things, such as I have to check his blood pressure, I gotta clean his house, we gotta go shopping, and all that. So it's a fine balancing act between myself just taking care of my own needs, as well as taking care of the needs of my roommates and taking care of my needs of my dad. I mean, my dad's 82 years old, he's got dementia, but he could still fare for himself to an extent, but it's gonna get to a point where he is gonna need to have a home care worker assigned to him. But I have to pretty much float that idea with him if things do start getting a little too hard for him around the house. But I also have some next-door neighbors who are checking in on him every couple days or so to make sure he's doing well. So, yeah, so it's a big balancing act between everything. I mean, taking care of myself, running the streams, dealing with my roommates, just dealing with my roommates' needs, doing my dad needs, and this is just something this is pretty much my life right now. Yeah, he should be in good hands with, I mean, well, my next door neighbors are like practicing Christians, so they do understand the need to help others in need, so they're good for that, and my dad has also done some work for them around the house, such as move some heavy equipment like washers, dryers, provide some advice for gardening and all that. So yeah, so it's also that even though they're basically helping each other charitably, there's also tends to be the classic "my scratch your back, you scratch mine" type of thing. So we're going through all that, and plus, and then after that, so we're just gonna see how it goes. Oh, and so and in terms of other news, oh yeah, anybody here have any plans for the big Valentine's Day this coming Friday, if at all? I mean, I don't really do Valentine's Day because I don't really have a significant other in my life to be going out with at this point, but well, I don't know. Anything can happen within the next little while. We'll see. So in terms of Valentine's Day, I'm probably gonna Valentine's Day for me, I'm just gonna be visiting. I just have to go home and visit my dad and just care to his health, as well as check his blood pressure, make sure that he's got everything. His meds are in order. He's got to take his blood pressure medication. But he is also gonna cook up some barbecue ribs for me when I visit him. That's nice. And of course, then I just have to follow up with him with how everything else is going on in life. Valentine's Day doesn't have to be significant other, I believe. You can give to someone you care about. That's how I do. Yeah. And you know what? My roommates gave me a good Valentine's gift bag, which just includes some cookies and an Orange Crush Zero. And my Valentine's gift to them is just like a pack of cigs. That's all they want. It's a pack of cigs. I just give them a pack of cigs, and they're good for the year. I mean, I don't smoke, mind you, but at least they don't pressure their tobacco habit on me, thank flipping Lord, because I'm trying to keep myself clean, and yeah, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, you know what? It is the thought that counts, and you know what? And they generally do appreciate that. Also, so video games 1980s. Anything new in terms of your videography class? Do you have anything new? Any new subjects you want to add, or like any new chapters or units you'd like to add to your videography class that you're interested in teaching your students? Or is it pretty much just the same thing every curriculum? Color correcting in log. Okay, so when you do color correcting in log, do you just make use of any special software for that? Like, do you use Photoshop or something, or anything similar to that effect? Or is there like a built-in color correcting program inside the camera itself? Well, just make it simple for them. I have them color correct in Adobe Premiere. Oh, okay, cool. DaVinci or Photoshop, that gets us. Okay. And they also give you the, you also provide the pointers in removing, like, red eye, and, also fixing any blur effects. I mean, I think every software program now just has an option to remove red eye and correcting blur, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really make use of photography software that much, so I'm just throwing this out. Okay, so we're almost at 50,000 points, and when we get to 50,000 points, we're going to be calling session for today. For the other people here who are viewing this, thanks very much for coming on in. We really do appreciate it. Yes, we haven't got to the point of just showing pretty much just basic color correcting in log format. Okay. Enlighten me a little bit here, Video Games 90s. What's log format? Because when I think of log, I just think about recording every bit of information in a separate file based upon events that have occurred for the usage of the software program. Am I on the mark here, or does log for videography mean something a little bit different? Because I'm not. Because after all, I'm practically a total noob when it comes to some stuff like that. Yeah, no, you're right. I've just been teaching him through a Sony log when you shoot with the FX30s. Oh, okay. Sony provides. Okay, it's log files for you to use. Okay, cool. Okay, let's take a look at our meter. 49,875. So 125 more points to go, and then we're going to be finished for today's session. Alright, 49,000, so 75 more points to go. Always stop the Armor Knight's magic, or it's going to be a pain in the ass to beat him. See, when you work with high school kids, right? 49,000, a lot of them take my class because they need extra credit. Okay, that's fair enough that they need the extra credit. Okay, I'm getting close to 50,000 points, so what I'm going to do is the following. I'm just actually going to do a quick return. And I'm just going to grind slimes until we get to 50,000 points. Provided that they don't run away sporadically. You know what, even if they do take your courses for extra credit, I hope they can at least come out of your course with a greater sense of appreciation for videography and composition in general. It can't be too complicated and stuff or they get frustrated. You know what, that's correct. And boy, howdy, let me tell you, I have stories of dealing with professors who insist on using the complicated method because apparently, in their view, it's the prestigious and professional method to use in order to appreciate the subject you are learning. And I'm saying, okay, you want prestige, you want professionalism. Fair enough, but you're dealing with beginners here. Beginners in your course. You want them to at least understand the material before they're going to approach the material for a more superlative fashion. It's always about the baby steps. You want to have the baby steps. So therefore, once you get an understanding and an appreciation of the subject you're teaching, then they can earn the confidence enough to approach the subject again for a bit more of a superlative standpoint. And other students that want to learn more, we have video clubs. Okay, yeah, and that's another good way to do it. Anyways, we finally leveled up to 50,000 points and level 26. Power increased by 4, speed by 5, hit points by 6, magic points by 7. So 4, 5, 6, 7 in this particular case. You know what? I'm not gonna bother fighting any more of the slimes for now, because I just want to keep it off at a nice, evenly rounded number here. So we're gonna stop at the end. Okay. So when I last checked this, it was 2 hours and 4 minutes and 30 seconds when I checked the stream recording timer. So it was 22 minutes and 30 seconds between when it came to leveling up when we ran a lap in Castle Charlock, which is more on par what you get with the Metal Slime field, but I kind of find the Metal Slime field more efficient to use anyway, because you can mow down the enemies like crazy with Erdrick's Sword, and the Metal Slimes can be instantaneously destroyed with Erdrick's Sword, because Erdrick's Sword can cleave metal. Okay, so we're going to record this on the Pure Skulls Arm. Does not go in, and no I do not, because we're done for the day. Rest done for a while. Okay, hold on, blah, 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 and we are done. Okay, so now we're going back to the bubble screen. Alright, everybody, so that was Dragon Warrior for today. So, thanks everyone for coming in and keeping the cap company. Video Games 1980, I really do appreciate your time being here and our little chat regarding videography as well as life in general. It's almost lunchtime. No, it is lunchtime for me. It's already half after lunch for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see who I can find to raid right now. Let me just bring my channel page right back up and see who's online right now. Okay, so we do have few people here. We have my good friend Maple Mackenzie. We also have Ustra Hazu. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to raid my good friend Maple Mackenzie. I mean, she's a nice gal, and she also provides some good entertainment. Sweet. Yeah, it's been great talking to you, to Video Games 1980s. Okay, guys, so we're going to go to Maple Mackenzie for today. Let's just see if we have this. Yes. Okay, so it's all set and ready to go. So, say hi to Maple Mackenzie for me, and give her a follow, and all I can say at this point is, see you all next stream.